Taking away the moments that make up a dull day, fritter and waste the hours in an offhand way, kicking around on a piece of ground in your hometown, waiting for someone or something to show you the way. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Digital Orthodontist. I'm Dr. Kyle Fagala and we're doing part 2 of the social media survival guide. But first I want to explain that really awkward intro. If you didn't know, those are lyrics to a song called Time by a band you may have heard of called Pink Floyd. It was on their album A Dark Side of the Moon. If you've never heard of these things, I'm sort of surprised because it was a huge album. One of the biggest. Fun fact, because I love music trivia, is actually on the Billboard list for 741 weeks in a row. So from 1973 to 1988, it was on there, which is insane. It's unparalleled. And they've sold 45 million copies of that. That's crazy. And the reason I use the lyrics is because the name of the song is Time, and we're talking time and management today. And a lot of us, I would say, flitter and waste the hours in an offhand way, especially when it comes to social media. We waste a lot of time. And like the last line says, if you've been waiting for someone or someone to show you the way, wait no more because I'm here. Okay, I'm here. I know that was very cheesy, and I'm sorry. I feel embarrassed that I even said that. But I'm here to show you the way to how to not waste your time. Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. So if you watched part 1 of the social media survival guide, then you'll know where we're at. If you've not, stop this, go and watch part 1, and then you'll come back and you'll watch part 2. Part 1 dealt with how to get the photos that you'll need for social media. Part 2 today is going to deal with 5 steps pretty much on how to manage your time and to make sure that you get these things done in a reasonable amount of time. And that is one of the most common things is when people come up to me, it's like, how do you get all this done? And here are going to be some of the answers. And certainly I've known people that kind of go into all this, like I'm going to knock social media out, we're going to do a great job, and for a month they really stay with it, they do a great job, and then they kind of give up and then trail off. And it's because it does take a lot of time. It also takes a lot of organization. So if you don't create a system for yourself and checks and balances, you're probably not going to be great at social media in the long term, which you need to be. All right, so the first thing for today, the first step is time. And it almost seems too obvious to mention, but social media, especially good social media, takes a lot of time. And so you need to set aside a consistent amount of time, either each week or each day, to knock these items out. And so we'll talk about in a second with your social media manager, this needs to be something that needs to be a part of their duties and responsibilities. So they need to know that this is something they do. Maybe if they get a non-patient day once a week, they need to be spending like half of that on social media and planning and things like that. So number 2 is a social media manager, and that is who we refer to as the person that handles your social media activity. Now you as a doctor, you could do this, or maybe your wife could do it at home or something like that, but really you should be doing this with someone else that can handle the bulk of the work. I kind of compare it to flying a plane. So there's a 10-80-10 principle that John Maxwell talks about, and the first 10% of flying a plane is taking off, the last 10% is landing it. The middle part is kind of on autopilot. And so in some sense, you can delegate the majority of your social media activities to a social media manager. And so that person, in my opinion, should typically be younger, more tech savvy. They're native to social media. They have been using Instagram since the day it came out, and they use Snapchat. And if you look at their social media channels, it all looks really good. It has good engagement, the photos look crisp, the captions are good, the spelling is good, the grammar is good. And that's the kind of person you're looking for. They're also organized, they have good follow-through, they've got an artistic eye, etc., etc. You won't probably be able to find the perfect person for this, but sometimes you get really lucky, and sometimes people are really good at this, and they can handle this for you. The third thing, though, is that oversight is necessary. So along with that 10-80-10 principle, when flying a plane, you can't use autopilot to take a plane off, and you can't use autopilot to land it, at least not today. And so you need to be involved in setting the stage, the first 10%, and in the last 10%, which is oversight. That's going back and saying, well, how did these posts do? Oh, there's a word that was misspelled. We need to fix that. We need to do this differently in the future. And so there always needs to be oversight. It also will keep your social media manager honest. The fourth thing would be a calendar, and so you need to be organized with the kind of posts you're trying to get throughout the month. Neon Canvas clients, we give them a publishing calendar with some social media prompts for each month, but if you don't have that, you can just print a simple calendar off the internet, and you can write, let's say we'll do 3 posts a week, and so that'll be 13 posts this month, and these are the type of posts that we want to do. We want to have photos and videos and blogs, and we want to do a before and after here. Now things are going to change, and so you'll have to flex those around, but your social media manager can be getting some posts already scheduled out in advance if they're organized about it. And so the way it would work in our office is Social Media Manager brings the first of the month. This is the publishing calendar for, let's say, August, and this is what we want to do. Maybe we make some changes, and then she's kind of runs off with it. Okay, so a calendar is a really important way to handle this. The last thing is a little bit different, but it is probably the most important thing is that you can do all this work, it can all be great, but if you don't have a big enough audience, it's kind of a waste of time. And so even the best produced TV show, if no one's watching it, it doesn't really matter, okay? And so you need to generate likes for your page. If you have 200 likes on your page, it's not enough. You need several thousand if you can. And so there's an episode 11 on Grow Your Facebook Audience, where we covered a bunch of different ways to get more likes on your page. One of my favorites is when you run a post and you get likes on it, you can actually click on that and just invite people to like your page. You get a lot that way. And there's a lot of different strategies. Go back and watch that episode. But either way, you need a bigger audience. I think that makes sense. So if I left anything out from this social media survival guide, please let me know on our Facebook group, The Digital Orthodontist. Would be happy to discuss it more. And just want to thank everyone who's been interacting there and who's been watching these episodes. I really do appreciate it. So from all of us here at The Digital Orthodontist, I'm Dr. Kyle Fagala, and first, I want to show you my Walkin' in Memphis shirt. I love it. It's a good one. Signing off.